Greetings, my human friends. This is Rudolf, the tall white alien. Today I would like to speak a little bit about Bitcoins and how to assess Bitcoins in their value, as well as compare it to other investments. You do not need a crystal ball like this to make a prediction about the value of things. Now let me give you a good example. Everything is based on energy, even your investments in stocks, bonds, real estate, Bitcoins, and so on. But what is the basis? What is the basis to compare different investments to each other and find a common denominator? Something where you can say, well, there is speculation going on in the marketplace. Whatever has some kind of value can be speculated on, depending on the rarity, depending on the expectations, future assessments, and so on. This is correct. There's nothing on this planet which is not fluctuating in value when it comes to investments. But let me tell you a little secret. Everything has a base value, and this base value has to be always kept in the back of the mind when you buy or sell an investment. The most unknown investment is a relatively new one, which is called Bitcoin. How much is a Bitcoin really worth? What is the value of a Bitcoin? Well, a few years back when a Bitcoin came onto the market, one Bitcoin in the very beginning cost about $3. Later on, you could buy a Bitcoin for $300. So a Bitcoin was already 100 times the value as it had some time before. And now we're talking about $700, $800, or even over $1,000 for one Bitcoin. Should you buy some Bitcoins? Because the Bitcoins may go up to 10,000 or 1 million. How do you know what a Bitcoin coin's value is? Let me tell you. As I stated before, everything's value is based on the energy involved and invested in it. So, in order to mine a Bitcoin, there has to be certain equipment bought, certain energy on electricity being invested, as well as the time of the one who is creating one Bitcoin. So what is the value? What is the price of a Bitcoin? It all depends on the comparison with other goods and their efforts and energies to produce. There is an old measurement when it comes to gold. Over the centuries, people used to say one pure gold coin of 1 ounce can always buy you a bespoke, handmade, fine suit for a gentleman. And so it is today. Over the centuries, the energy involved to mine gold, refine gold, and make a gold coin of 1 ounce has more or less always been the same as the energy which somebody needed to produce the fine fabrics which are needed to make a bespoke suit. Not only the production of the fabric, but also the craftsmanship of the tailor was included in the price. So there you see, if you own 1 ounce of gold in form of a pure gold coin, you usually can a little bit more, a little bit less, buy a handmade, tailor-made suit for it, because the energy in both of these products are more or less the same over the centuries. This cannot be said from a Bitcoin at this moment. Does it take $3, $300, or even $3,000 eventually to create 1 Bitcoin? Until there is no comparison between a Bitcoin and another valuable good. Until then, buying Bitcoins is nothing but pure speculation. Because a Bitcoin could be worth $10,000 or only 1 cent. First, it has to be determined how much energy is really involved in creating a Bitcoin and finding some goods, some services which can compare in the effort. Until then, I would recommend my friends and viewers to stay away from such a speculation. For example, you take stocks, you take any kind of real estate, you can reduce a stock or a piece of real estate to its fundamental value. Be it in a company, the machines, real estate, the cars and trucks which this company has, everything has a certain value to it, and then you can predict the needs for the goods produced, eventually to come to a price of the stock which is the minimum which you can put on it. And the same to a piece of real estate. You see how much labor was involved to build the house, materials, the state of the house and the upkeep of it, and you come to a price, more or less. The same can be said in gold and silver. It takes so much time to mine it and be refined, then transported. All of this can be measured to its own very intrinsic minimum. Until, and this is concerning Bitcoins, this cannot be said. What is the minimum value? What is the minimum energy involved to create a Bitcoin? Until then, I would not recommend anybody to get into the Bitcoin speculation. Because the price of a Bitcoin today has nothing to do with its intrinsic value, which can only be measured by the energy which is involved in creating it. Rudolf of Germany.